The day the true heiress returned, I was thrown out of the house. My adoptive parents insisted I taste the bitterness their biological daughter endured for 20 years. Heh, what bitterness? For us true workhorses, isn't this just a downgrade in lifestyle? We excel at playing from behind. At midnight, a torrential downpour drenched the capital city. I stood outside the Liu family villa, with nothing but the clothes on my back and my inseparable phone. Less than 2 hours after the true heiress came home, my adoptive parents kicked me out. Yuan Liu said she suffered 22 years in my stead, so I ought to taste the misery of destitution. The Liu family's door slammed shut, icy rain pelting my face chaotically. As a transmigrated cannon fodder, false heiress, and workhorse laborer, I'd enjoyed the young mistress status for less than 4 hours before being reduced to pennilessness again. I circled the villa and found a sheltered spot under the first-floor terrace, right below Xander Liu's room. Don't worry, her pockets are emptier than her face right now. Once she tastes hardship, she'll realize the benefits of a wealthy family and soon come begging to crawl back into your bed. Yuan Liu's voice echoed through the drain pipe. TSK, the villa's soundproofing isn't that great either. I knew it. This afternoon Xander Liu was all hands and trying to get incestuous, but tonight he's just sitting there grim-faced and silent. So he planned to keep me as a caged canary. Well, he miscalculated completely. To Xander Liu, having just one luxury apartment to his name meant he was too poor to survive. But for a true workhorse like me, even 200 yen in my wallet could stretch for half a month. Besides, this balance still has 80 yen, 000 left from this month's allowance. To the wealthy, that's just pocket change for an ice cream. But for us ordinary folks, it could last years if spent wisely. What they see as falling into the dust is just a downgrade in lifestyle to me. 20 minutes later, my Didi ride arrived. The driver got out, held an umbrella, and opened the door. Full service that brought back my young mistress vibes. Worth the tearful 20% surcharge. I don't know what's wrong with those female leads in TV dramas, getting kicked out and walking in the rain until they develop a high fever, all about torturing body and soul. I can't afford to get sick. Life is hard enough already. No need to suffer unnecessarily. The driver dropped me off at the nearest budget hotel. I booked a room for 300 a night, took a hot shower, and sent my clothes to the front desk for dry cleaning while wearing the hotel's pajamas. Before bed, I downed 2 packets of 999 cold remedy delivered by takeout. When you're out on your own, you have to take good care of yourself. For us poor folks, health is our most valuable asset. If no one else pities you, you have to pity yourself. I woke up feeling refreshed and clear-headed. I put on my dry, clean clothes, left the hotel, and went to a nearby wholesale market, squeezing into a crowded stall to haggle fiercely before spending 100 yuan on 4 T-shirts, 3 pairs of shorts, and a pair of sneakers. As I was leaving, the shop owner grumbled while bagging my items. "Miss, dressed so nicely, you sure drive a hard bargain, giving it to you at cost and even throwing in such a good bag." Absolutely, without a better bag, how could I sell this LV outfit for a good price? It's just a shame these lambskin shoes are ruined. Rich people must be burning money. Wore these today, and the soles are already worn through. Can't even resell them, but this phone case studded with tiny diamonds is worth something. An 8K phone with a 28K case. If I hadn't checked the recent shopping lists, I wouldn't have dared imagine money could be spent like this. How could the original owner, this cannon fodder, not survive and end up selling herself at a bar? Pure brain, dead move. I've been busy like a spinning top all morning, finally cashed in all the valuables on me. Now, nothing on me costs more than 29.9, total Temu, style vibe, comfortable and fitting for my spending habits. With 65K added to my balance, I walked with a spring in my step. Struck gold. Gotta treat myself right. I had a bowl of noodles with bean paste in a small alley near the CBD. The meat was sparse, a mix of lean and fatty bits, with crisp cucumber. The sauce was homemade by the owner, its aroma wafting for miles. The best part was the price, just 15 for a big bowl, and you could get a refill on noodles. From last night until this noon, I hadn't eaten properly. I slurped it down quickly, scraping the bottom of the bowl, swirling the few crispy meat crumbs coated in sauce into my mouth, and let out a loud burp. Before selling the clothes, I didn't even eat a bowl of rice, afraid grains might spill on them and lower their value. Wearing gold and silver makes me anxious, but downgrading my spending brings me peace. The saying, "a wild boar can't appreciate fine grain," probably describes me perfectly. In the afternoon, I used my digital ID to get a new SIM card and swap my 8,000 yuan phone for an 1,800 yuan domestic brand. Same familiar operating system. Ah, so satisfying. Dropping it doesn't hurt anymore. Still so durable. Domestic phones are just awesome. I scrolled through my chat history these past couple of days. All I received were sarcastic remarks and jeers, along with maintenance offers from Rich Second, Jens, led by my Sua, called brother. Oh, screw that. They've got a few bucks and it's gone to their heads. How did the original host mess up this badly? Their social circle is terrible. Not even a brain. Dead bestie to borrow money from. The most annoying part was getting that princely message from Xander Liu, asking if I've admitted my mistakes yet. What's his deal? Does he think this is the feudal era? Does he want to hang me from the city walls? I sent back a get lost and blocked him right after. Admit my mistakes. My ass. What a jerk. After selling everything I could, I checked out carrying a big black trash bag. It held everything I owned. A few pieces of clothing, plus the hotel's disposable toothbrush and slippers. Hotels inside capital city's 4th Ring Road are too expensive. I figured I'd move out past the 5th Ring. The only reason I haven't left this ridiculously pricey city yet is that, as a graduating senior, I'm about to collect my diploma and degree. Before I transmigrated, my parents sent me off to work in a factory right after middle school, what you call a dropout from the 9-year compulsory education system. Thinking about soon being a certified workhorse graduate actually gets me a little excited. Modern novels really throw logic out the window just to torment cannon fodder characters. With a healthy body and a bachelor's degree, why would anyone deliberately choose to work at the exact bar where the male lead hangs out? Isn't that just asking to get drinks thrown in your face? By the time I returned to campus, the graduation ceremony had already passed. I'd intentionally avoided it. Seeing Yuan Lu's smug, triumphant face once was more than enough. I had no intention of subjecting myself to that nausea again. Actually, we were roommates, though I only stayed in the dorm once or twice. During college, I lived in the luxury penthouse my family bought nearby, complete with a housekeeper, something that drove Yuan Lu, who was constantly working part-time jobs, green with envy, classic trope of setting up rivals purely to stir resentment. It's one of the reasons Yuan Lu had it out for me, but it wasn't my fault, not even my parents'. They were just migrant workers who happened to give birth in the hospital room next to the VIP suite on the same unlucky day. And the Lu family's rivals swapped the babies to ruin them. Although my birth parents were poor, they responsibly fulfilled their duties, raising Yuan Lu until she got into the same university as me before both passing away from illness. I don't understand why the Lu family had to humiliate that elderly couple to such extremes. What exactly did they do wrong? Are poor people simply not worthy of having children? The day after the graduation ceremony, I went alone to the advisor's office to collect my diploma and degree certificate. I wasn't about to let Yuan Lu and her band of cannon fodder humiliate me at the graduation ceremony. Graduation photos are just ceremonial. They're not like ID cards that require your physical presence. The principal flipping my tassel wouldn't earn me an extra penny. So, why subject myself to humiliation for classmates I might never see again? My advisor looked at me with concern and said, "Xiang Lu, if you need anything, you can always talk to me." "It's nothing. I'm fine. Thank you, Professor." Aside from that bunch of lunatics in the Lu family, the rest of the world is still quite sane. There's nothing wrong with me. Compared to the heiress who's set to inherit the family business, I've fallen from the sky down to earth. But compared to 90% of new graduates nationwide who get no allowance from home and are waiting for their first paycheck, I still have some money in my pocket. Please save your help for those who need it more. I can manage on my own. That very afternoon, I ate my words, having planned to inherit the family business. I missed both the spring and autumn recruitment seasons, leaving only a handful of companies at the job fair. The scattered booths had stacks of resumes piled thicker than toilet paper in a village outhouse. As the crowd thinned, I saw one HR grab a stack of resumes and toss them into a nearby trash bin. A younger colleague beside him exclaimed in surprise, "Manager, you've already gone through these? Were they not qualified enough?" The supervisor smoothed his comb over where the periphery once again supported the center and said mysteriously, "Luck is also a form of competence." "Screw that," I stormed back. "Give me my resume back. I spent $4 printing it double." Cited. The balding man looked constipated, seeing me furious and ready to throw punches. He immediately dug through the trash. Miss, your luck is absolutely as flawless as your looks. Here's your resume, not a speck of dirt. We're all just trying to make a living. No hard feelings, all right?" I snorted coldly. "No wonder you're a manager. So flexible." With a swift turn, I whipped my ponytail at him and walked away. If this place won't have me, there are plenty that will. If nowhere will have me, I'll just start my own business, based on decades of life experience. I can tell with a mere finger. Count that today's troubles won't end here. Sure enough, when it rains, it pours. Misfortune never comes alone. Xander Liu chased me all the way to the school just to make my life harder. He adjusted his gold-rimmed glasses with an air of false refinement, his gaze inscrutable. "Where have you been these past few days? Not answering calls. Have you been hanging out with shady people? Did you flush your brain down the toilet right after kicking me out? Got amnesia? Who do you think you are to meddle in my business?" I rolled my eyes. Xander Liu frowned. "You've become so crude in just a few days." He glanced at the resume in my hand, a smirk tugging at his lips. "Looking for a job and still daring to offend me? Go ahead and try. See which company would dare hire you." The balding manager, who'd been spectating from the back, curiously leaned in. "We haven't received any notice barring your employment. Which company are you with that holds such sway?" A hint of embarrassment flashed across CEO Liu's face. I told the manager seriously that he must have watched too many foreign dramas and thought this was a chaebol country where the whole nation is run by a single corporation. "Exactly," the HR guy chimed in, whispering, "Which publicly listed company worth billions is surnamed Liu?" Before Xander Liu's face turned from red to purple, I pulled out my phone and showed the gossip duo corp check. Landmark Construction. See, they even have lawsuits and are under high consumption restrictions. Huh, then what was he bragging about? Shut up. Xander Liu's face flushed green with rage. "Xiang Liu, if you look down on me now, don't ever come begging for help later. Just you wait." "Heh, I'm not going anywhere. I'll take the subway." I waved my Metro card in front of Xander. Sniping at someone playing the arrogant protagonist trope is so satisfying. Go ahead, try buying out the subway company if you dare. Don't you ever think about stepping into the Liu family again. I walked away cheerfully amid his harsh words. Subway to shared bike, and before noon, I was inside the Liu family home. At this hour, only Mrs. Liu was home. Today's corp check search woke me up. Marx taught us that every pore of capital drips with blood and dirt. I've already been kicked out, yet I'm still stuck on the same family register with those deadbeats. What if it ruins my political prospects during background checks? I haven't taken advantage of the Liu family, nor do I want to go down with them. In the original story, Xander Liu used the family register to abuse the original owner, and she couldn't even report it. The police called it a domestic matter. Better to make a clean break now than be controlled by them later. When Mrs. Liu saw me, she frowned as if looking at something filthy. "What are you doing here? The Liu family raised you in luxury for 22 years. We owe you nothing." I felt little emotion and replied calmly, "I'm no longer a daughter of the Liu family. I want to move my household registration to avoid causing you trouble." Based on my years of novel reading experience, cannon fodder dies from emotional outbursts. If I were to act all weepy and hesitant instead of speaking clearly, it would only lead to misunderstandings and add another classic tragic scene. just like the original owner. She came to get her ID card but stammered and ended up getting slapped twice. Seeing that I wasn't here for money, Mrs. Liu became much more agreeable. Mr. Wang accompanied her to handle it. Before coming, I had already informed my advisor to temporarily keep my household registration at the school until I found a job and could transfer it. The procedures went smoothly. When I changed my name from Xiang Liu to Xiang Zhao, I finally felt a sense of breaking free from my fate. The cannon fodder became a background character. In my own story, I have a name, an identity, and a household registration. Before boarding the high-speed train leaving Capital City, I casually snapped my old SIM card and tossed it into the trash. With this matter settled, I have no more attachments here. Leaving was also part of my plan. In 2 weeks, I stayed at 6 different hotels, averaging 300 yuan a night, totaling 200 yuan spent. It was way too expensive, but it was still cheaper than renting. Even a tiny 10-square-meter room near the subway, outside the 5th Ring Road, sharing a bathroom with others, costs 200 yuan in rent, plus a 6-month deposit up front. However, the highest salary I could get from companies recently was only 500 yuan, after deducting subway fares and daily meals. It's a classic case of earning in Capital City and spending it all there. Not a single penny left to take home. Since I'm downgrading my spending, I need to cut living costs too. I plan to hunker down in a county-level city first. China is vast. There's no need to stay trapped in Capital City. I'd rather not increase my chances of running into the main characters. Physical distance is the best strategy. I refuse to believe the author who writes about domineering CEOs. Imprisoning me would set the plot in a wet market of some backwater town. The day before I left, I ran into Mr. Liu again. Calling him Dad wasn't appropriate anymore, and Uncle felt just as awkward. I addressed him as CEO Liu. Compared to him, Xander Liu's methods seemed downright amateur. For instance, while Xander was still bombarding me with harassing texts, CEO Liu had already pinpointed the hotel I was staying at. He was so mild-mannered, as if he hadn't just kicked me out, more like a father returning home after a casual meal. Why transfer your household registration? I owe Yuan Liu an explanation. In time, you'll still be a daughter of the Liu family. Your engagement to the Chung family remains valid. I had no patience to play polite games with this old fox. After all these years, I still hadn't learned how to be proper. What? Your own daughter failed to win Ethan Cheng's favor? I'm terribly sorry, but I can't do it either. You should remember, on the day I was kicked out, his bed photos with the actress dominated the top spot on the trending list all day. CEO Liu is like a heartless machine. Even his own children must have value. Before the alliance with the Chung family, he spent most of his time with his various mistresses, paying me no attention. Later, after my brother joined the company, my age, education, and looks caught Mrs. Cheng's eye, so he started coming back regularly for dinner with Mrs. Liu. He thought sharing a meal was some kind of reward, but Mrs. Liu would always grumble, "What's that deadbeat dad of yours coming back for? He's interrupting my mahjong game." Besides Mrs. Liu, he has 4 mistresses who've borne him a dozen children. Children aren't exactly a scarce resource to him. Whoever is useful becomes his favorite child. CEO Liu lives by time is money. Efficiency is life. If negotiations fail, his driver hits the gas, and he's gone. Before leaving, he tossed out a remark. "I was going to give you some pocket money, but it seems you don't want it." When he said that, I felt a pang of regret. More accurately, I was kicking myself over it. His usual pocket money was around 600,000, enough for me to buy an apartment. Money is hard to earn. For a livelihood, it's worth bending one's pride. But now it's too late. I could only stubbornly tell myself, I won't swallow this empty promise. I'm not the original host. If Ethan Chung humiliates me like he did her, I'd definitely lose my temper and hit him. During the 5-hour subway ride, I managed to nap twice. After exiting the station, I took a breath of the sea breeze, salty and damp, nothing like Capital City, with its fragrant exhaust fumes. The air in Bayside County carries the scent of seafood. So familiar it stirred a bit of excitement in me. Before transmigrating into this novel, I worked here, earning just enough to scrape by. Of course, the 140,000 in my bank account now isn't enough for a down payment, but it's far better than in Capital City, where it wouldn't even cover rent. The train station was built right inside the scenic area, with streets full of vendors selling giant squid skewers for 15 each, along with various handmade drink shops and cafes. I made a beeline for Sweet Bee, back when I was living the high life. I ate 8 meals a day and wouldn't set foot anywhere with an average spend under 200. Now, it's different. If a drink costs more than nine, I have to think twice. But Sweet Bee is an exception. As long as I have $5 in my account, I'll walk right in, sipping on a large lemonade. I looked around the familiar decor and started questioning my life choices. I flipped through the wish wall and, sure enough, found the note Tina and I left 2 years ago tucked in the back. I want to get rich. The words hit hard. Turns out, for cannon fodder like us, who don't affect the main plot, we don't even get our own timeline. After the car accident, I actually returned to the same world, just as someone else. I grabbed a half sweet lemonade to go, hopped on the subway for a few stops, and soon arrived at the familiar old neighborhood. I climbed up to the familiar top floor and knocked. Sister Tina answered with messy bedhead, drowsily opening the door. She usually works long hours and was catching up on sleep at this time. I handed her the lemon water and asked, "Is the west room available for rent?" She visibly froze. "This room belonged to my friend. She passed in a traffic accident a month ago. Hope you don't mind." I hoisted my large black plastic bag and walked in familiarly. "No problem. $500 a month, right? I'll pay half a year's rent. Moving in today." "Hold on. Let me clear her things." Sister Tina found a big box and started packing. "No need. I'll just use what's here." I smoothly opened the closet, took out my favorite little yellow duck bedsheet, and put it on. Sister Tina rushed over and grabbed my arm, agitated. "Who are you really? What's your connection to Wang Ninli?" "Sister Tina, don't be scared, but I am Wang Ninli." "A ghost?" "Uh-huh." Her eyes rolled back, and she fainted. TSK. Her nerves aren't the strongest. I checked her breathing, steady and even, soon accompanied by soft snores. Her sleep quality was as good as ever. When Tina woke up, I was in the kitchen wrapping dumplings. She crept over from the corner, clutching a rolling pin. I turned my head. "Sis, perfect timing. Come help roll the dough." Tina jolted, dropping to her knees in fright. "Wang Nan, don't hold it against me. Your funeral was a bit shabby, but I spent half my savings on it. When your wretched parents came causing trouble, I told them you'd racked up high interest debts. I hired some tough guys to scare them off in the village, slapped each of them twice. That wretched old man who wanted to buy you with the bride price was there too. He and your parents wanted each other like dogs, leaving everyone bruised and battered. Your unlucky younger brother ran off to work in the Northern Territories after racking up his own high interest debts. If you have any last wishes, just tell me. I'll make them happen, even if I have to sell everything I own." I dusted the flour off my hands. "Actually, there's one thing left undone. Now that I have money, let's rent the shop downstairs and open a fried chicken store." "What kind of nonsense are you talking?" Tina stood up. I could tell she still wanted to hit me. "You don't even have $5,000 in your bank account. I even bought your urn." I opened my phone to show my balance. "See for yourself." Tina's eyes went wide. "Even if it's hell money, I'll take it. When are we signing the contract?" I laughed, not afraid of ghosts anymore. Tina tossed the rolling pin aside and rolled her eyes at me. A broke ghost is still a ghost. Tina and I were in the same boat. We'd always been short on money. Right after junior high, my parents sent me to work in a factory, 14-hour day and night shifts, $800 a month. The pay went straight to my mom, leaving me just $200 for meals. I ate a lot and couldn't even afford sanitary pads. Tina was more capable than me. From 15 to 20, she worked her way up to line supervisor, cut ties with her parents, and switched factories on her own. When I got my period and fainted on the assembly line, she carried me back to the dorm and made me brown sugar eggs. After I finished eating, she scolded me fiercely, then went to the foreman to collect my month's wages and told me to keep it myself. I knew Tina was tough, but I could tell good from bad. She was the only person in this world who truly cared for me. On payday, my parents stormed in from the village, tearing at me and beating me. Tina shielded me, but those two old wretches cursed her as a slut, accused her of corrupting me, and tore out several locks of her hair. Before this, Tina had always scolded me for having no backbone, for never fighting back. When my parents came, I just kneel and kowtow. Seeing Tina bleed, defiance stirred in me for the first time. I picked up a broken stool leg and beat those two old monsters until their heads were swollen. Then Tina took me and we ran. Before leaving, she snarled, "Those old leeches won't suck our blood anymore." We fled through layer after layer of mountains, crossed the plains, and arrived at Bayside City, 1,000 miles away. When we got here, Tina said she loved the sea. So we settled down. Both Tina and I had injured our hands, so our precision was off. No factory work, flyer distribution, street stalls, or sales for us. We took whatever low, barrier jobs could earn us money. Later, Tina joined a small company handling both admin and sales, while I worked at a beauty salon doing facials. We saved up and rented this small property apartment together, a resettlement unit in a downtown urban village, slated for demolition, a 60-square-meter top floor unit for $1,000 a month, with 2 south-facing bedrooms and a small street-side living room. Opening the window, you could see the leaves of a parasol tree swaying, casting a lush green glow into the room. Tina bought a secondhand TV for 300 yuan. The signal was spotty in the bottom right corner. No picture there, but it didn't stop us from watching. Every day after work, we'd gather together, watching TV while prepping vegetables and cooking. Before my incident, Tina's company couldn't pay salaries on time, doling out money like squeezing toothpaste. Now, with the global economy struggling, big companies are laying people off. Small ones are shutting down. Our beauty salon sometimes goes half a day without a single customer. Tina learned a recipe for fried chicken and got the seasoning just right, but it's not practical for a street stall. It'd be better with a proper shop. There's a suitable one right downstairs. Rent is $30,000. Every time Tina and I passed by, it stung. No money. Truly couldn't afford it. I never thought a car accident could bring such an unexpected windfall. Huhan-san, have returned. Tina and I spent a month preparing, burping nothing but fried chicken flavors, before finalizing 5 best sauces: sweet chili, honey, garlic soy, sweet and sour, cheese egg yolk, and honey mustard, covering all tastes, each absolutely delicious. The fried chicken skin was golden and glossy, crackling audibly at the slightest touch, bursting with tender juices the moment you bit in. The chicken was marinated so long even the bones were flavorful, leaving you craving to lick your fingers clean. Before the shop opened, Tina and I refried the chicken and took it to a nearby night market stall. Refrying made it crispier, staying crunchy even when cool without losing texture. I also prepared my signature spicy pickled radish cubes as complimentary sides, perfect for cutting through the richness and adding extra zest. On the first day, the crowd buying fried chicken was sparse. 3 days later, with returning customers increasing, our fried chicken sold faster each day. Half a month later, when the new store opened, we had already accumulated a large base of loyal customers. Dine, in, and takeout combined, we sold 83 orders on the first day. At 10 p.m., we closed the shop and started counting the money. After deducting the day's costs for rent, utilities, and ingredients, we made about 500 yuan. Tina and I each got 250, grinning like fools and happy as clams. 250 a day, with 4 days off a month. Each of us could still earn 6,500, even with my bachelor's degree. The highest salary I could get in Capital City was around that amount, let alone in this 28th tier small town. Before, working ourselves to the bone. We only made $3,500 a month. This path was the right one. With the fried chicken shop on track, Tina and I were busy every day, buying ingredients, marinating chicken legs, changing oil, frying chicken, mixing sauces, plus wiping tables and mopping floors. We were like two little spinning tops. But thinking that every bit of effort we put in went straight into our own pockets made it all worthwhile. After work in the evening, we'd shower and collapse into bed exhausted, too tired to even watch TV. On rare days off, we'd order 2 takeouts and binge, watch half a month's worth of shows. The prep guy had a crush on Tina and always brought her milk tea whenever he came by. I sprawled on the couch. Lou seems like a decent guy. Why not give him a shot? I'm busy making money. No time for that. Tina tossed a pillow at me. Mind your own business. I laughed loudly. My love life withered long ago. As the saying goes, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Someone knocked at the door. I opened it to find Ethan Chung, my ex-fiancé. I'd been kicked out just a day after transmigrating here. If not for the photos of him all over the original owner's room, I wouldn't have known who he was. A plain white shirt looked strikingly good on him, though the low ceiling made his 6'3" frame seem oddly out of place in the room. He really was handsome. No wonder the original owner stayed his simp fiancé for years, tolerating even his blatant infidelity without ever confronting him. Please, come in. We don't have tea, I said, handing him a glass of warm water. Ethan Chung scanned the place inside and out with a mix of curiosity and disdain. This isn't even as big as your old walk-in closet. Get to the point. I can't be bothered with small talk. The original owner liked handsome guys, but I only care about money. I told my family that if we must ally with the Liu family through marriage, it has to be you. I was a bit surprised. You're not into me, are you? Ethan laughed, a hint of mockery in his tone. Not at all. You mind your own business and know how to take care of people, like a proper wife. Yuan Liu is delusional, always going on about true love with me. I sighed. Love really is like sand in your palm. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. Tina was right all along. No relationship, no drama. Look, I've been kicked out. If your family wants an alliance marriage, make it a real exchange of benefits. Marrying the false heiress is worse than not marrying at all. That won't work. My grandfather said if I don't get married, I can't inherit the shares. My eyes lit up. Well then, let's talk money. Ethan Chung pulled out a prenuptial contract, densely packed with clauses. Marry him, be Mrs. Chung properly in the Chung family, and stay out of his business. The contract had so much fine print it made my vision blur. Then he took out a check and said, "Write any amount you like." Instantly, my sight cleared up. Tina, who had been silent as a background prop since Ethan entered, handed me a pen. I nodded at her. I understood completely. I picked up the pen and filled every space with nines. From top to bottom, pure bliss. Ethan, scrolling on his phone, glanced casually at the check and shot up like a cat with singed paws. Are you insane? Our family's assets are only $9 billion, and you're writing a check for $1 billion? I got defensive too. Didn't you tell me to write my favorite number? I like nines. Ethan's face flushed red with anger. Materialistic woman, I misjudged you. We're done. Stay away from me. I stood with hands on my hips and fired back. If you're broke, why act like a hotshot? Blame your own poor judgment. Didn't you come crawling to me first? How much could your shabby fried chicken shop earn in a lifetime? How dare you demand $900 million? I retorted righteously. That's the price for me earning money with dignity. If you want me to kneel, the price is this. Take it or leave it. No money? Then get lost. Ethan Chang's face flushed red with anger, and he stood up to leave. Before he left, I noticed the charm on his phone. It seemed to have the same design as the phone case I'd sold. I checked the almanac today. It's auspicious for wealth. I stopped Ethan Chung. Wait, you can go, but that phone charm was a gift from me. Leave it behind. Ethan Chung tore off the ugly doll charm and slammed it onto the coffee table, snarling, I'd almost forgotten. What a jinx. Tina leaned in and whispered, "Why bother with that worthless trinket? Go for his watch instead." That watch probably wasn't bought by me, but I decided to give it a shot. "And that watch of yours?" I stepped forward to stop him again. "This damn thing was bought with my own money." "Oh, what are you getting so worked up about?" "I was just saying it's really ugly," I grumbled. "That watch looks expensive at first glance." Guess that dumbass actually remembers some things. With a loud slam, Ethan Chung stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Tina chased after him, yelling, "Who do you think you are? Pay for the door." By the time Tina had cursed her way down to the first floor and back up, she saw me fiddling with that little trinket. "What are you doing staring at this ugly thing?" I opened Swaply and held my phone up to her face. The price tag of $599 nearly blinded her. Tina carefully cradled the doll in her hands. "Just this? How can it be so expensive?" "You wouldn't understand. Rich people's tastes are hard to explain." The day I sold the doll, I bought the shop downstairs, along with the 90-square meter apartment on the second floor. After everything was settled, Tina and I bought a 75-inch big screen TV. Big TVs are amazing. When you're binge watching, you can even see the pores on the actors' faces. I took a sip of my ice. Cold cola. So satisfying. "This is the life I've always wanted." Tina laughed. "Look at you. So money hungry. If you just sign an agreement with Ethan Chung, honestly, you'd get way more than this." "Sis, it's always been others sucking us dry, relying on someone else to support me. I'm just not used to it. I prefer earning my own money." Tina hugged me, seeing that guy act all high and mighty. No amount of money is worth putting up with that attitude. It'll make you sick sooner or later. Earning your own money and spending it yourself. That's how you stand tall. Go knead the dough. I'll prepare the filling. Today's a day to celebrate. Let's make dumplings. This month, the fried chicken shop made over $20,000, and Tina and I moved into a new place. Life just keeps getting better. Outside the window, the plane trees were lush and green, their branches thick with leaves. What does it matter if you're the true heiress or the false heiress? I just want to rely on myself to make a living and earnestly live my own simple life. A plain, happy life really doesn't cost much at all. As we wrap dumplings, Tina, who's been into family melodramas lately, ended up crying into the filling. I shot her a disgusted look. These dumplings were definitely too salty. "Sis, do you want to get married? Look how miserable it is. Why would I put myself through that? I don't want to either. Then, who's going to take care of us when we're old?" Tina wiped her tears. "I think we could go back to the village and adopt another little girl. We've got money now. We can raise 2 girls. This time, we'll definitely send them to school." "Sounds good to me." And, epilogue, Landmark Construction went bankrupt. After CO Lu jumped off a building, news about his dozen children fighting in court went viral. I asked Tina, "What's a trust fund collapse?" "Not sure either. Sounds like the money got locked up and can't be used." "Focus on frying your chicken. It's about to burn. Other people's drama has nothing to do with us. Even a starved camel is bigger than a horse. Don't worry about them." "Who ordered delivery number 0532? Tina was running around like crazy. "Yeah, we common folks just watch for fun. Fortunes change. What goes around comes around." I fried up 2 more batches of chicken. Living my own life, well, is what truly matters.